My name is Rich Young, and I'm here to cram 5 million years of human history into 5 minutes. So, before we get started, there are a few things you should know. First of all, I am in no way a professional archaeologist. Second, our understanding of the ancient world is constantly changing. And third, most of the milestones I'll be talking about tonight take place in the last 1/10 of 1% of the 5 million years in the title. So, where to get started? Well, historically, we would have said Adam and Eve 6,000 years ago. Then we started uncovering more of our past, and we came to realize that human history is much, much vaster than that, and that the line between human and non-human is actually pretty blurry. So what makes us human? Well, all of these things have been proposed as answers to that question, but the problem is that just about all of them occur elsewhere in the animal kingdom, with the exception of the use of fire. So what is the answer to the question? What does make us human? Well, my answer is it's the combination of all of these things taken together. No other animals out there can combine the level of skill that we have at these various things, and that makes us special. Okay, so we're used to thinking of history such that the incredible, mind-blowing events of today and of ancient civilizations are far apart. It makes sense. They're separated by thousands of years. But when you modify the timeline to squeeze in, the earliest known use of tools by our ancestors, the Epic of Gilgamesh and Paris Hilton are only 2 pixels apart. That's 2 pixels for the pyramids, ancient Rome, the Vikings, the Nazis, all of that. And all of this empty space to the left. So that's the kind of timescale we're talking about. We're going to have to make some difficult choices. I've decided to keep only the most critically important universal events in my talk. The first one of those is bipedalism, okay? So the shift to 2 legs cost us some speed, but we gained the ability to do more careful stonework than any other primates before or since. We also gained the ability to throw with deadly force and accuracy, which made up for the loss in speed. Fire. Fire gave us protection from predators, from the dark and the cold. It enabled us to colonize the entire world. Cooking our food with it got us more nutrition, and it was safer that way. We also found it useful for pottery and metals later on. In the Neanderthal age, we start to see complicated burial rituals, which hint at the beginnings of religion. By 40,000 years ago, we've got sculpture and cave art in full swing. Trade comes next. Neolithic cultures started to do flint mining and salt mining to trade. We began having food, metals, jewelry, pottery traded over impressive distances. Eventually, that gets you banks, supermarket mangoes, and plastic shoes. The shift from hunting to herding marked the end of 3 million years of wandering around. We domesticated dogs and goats, and later on oxen and horses. We planted grain. The resulting food surpluses resulted in the first population boom ever. Those newly agricultural villages needed to unite for common defense and to work together on a variety of different projects. So you start to see governments arising. Governments, in turn, needed to keep track of who was paying their taxes and who wasn't. So that gets you written language. The Sumerian cuneiform, the first example of efficient written language. 3,000 years later, Gutenberg invents the printing press. Writing is really important because it makes culture durable and portable. It's a big deal. Okay, so scientific thought got started in ancient Greece, ancient Persia, India, and China. The pace of discovery really kicked off in the Renaissance, and it hasn't really slowed down since. Remember fire? Well, fossil fuels revolutionized it. The Chinese tamed natural gas 2,000 years ago, and coal and oil weren't far behind. Once we figured out how to do more than just heat and light with these fuels, our appetite for them grew and grew. That gave us machines. Once we had the materials and fuels for it, we began to build machines that could do our work for us and with us. You got steam engines, clocks, automobiles, food processors. Daily life got more and more mechanized. Information wasn't far behind. In the 1800s, we had the Jacquard loom, Babbage's brass computer. In the 20th century, modern computers and the internet, it touches every aspect of life now, from recreation to research. And the last but not least The pinnacle of history, Ignite Fort Collins. I'm Rich Allen.